Hey folks, I just thought to do this little video to just say to you that what I'm thinking is at the moment about 2014 is that there's so much strange stuff going on in the world that if you don't kind of keep yourself organised with your own energies and start to be very, very discerning about what you actually invest your energy into, it could be very easy to get completely overwhelmed. There's that much stuff going on environmentally. If you watch those updates that chap does, is it the Hawker Siddeley channel or something, Hawkey Davis channel or something, Signs of Change the last 2 weeks, he does them quite regularly. You know, the amount of weather stuff going on, there's all the, is Ison here, has it gone, all that, is there that big sun thing, that big planet thing behind the sun, is it there, isn't it there, what is going on? And it's absolutely mind-boggling. And that's before you started looking in the sky at the sprayers, and then that's before you started thinking about what's in the food. Onwards, the bloody bankers, the whole lot, the money, everybody's working to stand still. It's a nightmare. You could get very, very, very down with it all. So what I'm trying to say to you is, folks, don't forget that at the end of the main calendar, we did say, didn't we, that it was supposed to be co-creation in the 9th wave. It's creating your own reality. And how do you create your own reality? You create your own reality, I believe, by, well, there's obviously a few things, and I mean, I'm not an expert, otherwise I'd have created myself, you know, a size 10 body. Obviously, what I'm trying to say is that, and I wasn't being flippant, you know, I'm not being awful about stuff like that. I'm very grateful for the body I've got, but what I'm trying to say, I'm not a master manifester, so I don't want you to think I'm sort of trying to say, but all I'm saying is this is what I'm trying to do. And this is what I've learned along the way, and I think this is what is very helpful. You've got to be discerning. You can't just think that we're living in a fluffy world and everybody's lovely. That's just poppycock, because you'll just not realise that people will always try and take your energy. If you've got a good, strong, positive energy, people will sort of latch onto you and try and let you drag them along, you know, their path. So you've got to be discerning. You've got to be discerning and know when you to actually close down your barriers. You've got to have boundaries. You've got to feel grateful, because feeling grateful for everything that you've got, even grateful for the things that have happened to you that, you know, weren't so great. You know, grateful for the experience that you've had, that you've learned from it. It's made you the person that you are. So you've got to keep your energy high. And then you've got to keep positive thoughts, because I was reminded earlier of that statement that Bashar said, which is abundance is having the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. So that's something to think of. I thought that was a great statement. You know, also when we react to things with aggression, it's not reacting from a calm point of view. I mean, I know we're all human, but I'm just saying, if you can react to something calmly, then you can get tuned into what you instinctively need to do in any given situation. The minute you start going off on a tangent for all sorts of reasons is the minute you've lost it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I can do that, you know what I mean? We're all human. The point is that ultimately, what I'm trying to say to you is I'm just trying to say that for me personally, it would be very, very easy to get completely overwhelmed by all the things that are immediately beyond our physical control. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have things like the Occupy movement and sign petitions and do what we can within our own reality and what touches us and what comes to us. We can't spend all our days 24/7, you know, feeding the homeless, campaigning against Monsanto. And then you can feel bad about the fact that you're not spending 24/7 doing that, but you can't. You've got to do what you've got to do. I mean, I'm a parent. You know, I've got to do parenting stuff with my daughter. You know, you've got to do what you've got to do to keep the bills paid, not to go running them up buying all and sundry. Oh, look, I've just seen in the back. Oh, that's my picture there, right there, on the wall in the background. Wow. But anyway, that's, I got sidetracked. But yes, focus on things that give you a buzz. I mean, just recently, since about August, I met these two ladies and I got into playing the ukulele. It's a lot easier than the guitar. And I formed a local, the screen's gone dark, that's it. I formed this local ukulele band, and it's, you know, it leads to things. Follow what gives you a buzz, that keeps your energy high. Create your own reality, and don't get sidetracked. You know, and the other, one last thing I'll just say, I don't want to be waffling on too long, but a little analogy for you is the fact that I think we all know, don't we, that I think Iceland is the only country that's actually managed to, have they put them in prison, but actually prosecute some of their bankers. As we know from all these whistleblowers, that, you know, what's really going on, and the bankers and the whole rigged monetary system that keep us all enslaved in this system. However, Iceland is the country that's actually managed to do something about its debt and its bankers. And Iceland, I read in the paper the other day, actually had been able to get the green element within it and the fairy believers or the elf believers within it to club together, and they managed to stop the parliament from, or the government, from building a road through what they believed was a fairy church. They managed to halt proceedings for long enough to give the elves and the fairies time to move. Now, is it a coincidence that the only country that actually has managed to sort out its banking problem is the same only country that probably believes in the elves and the fairies? Well, maybe it's not such rubbish after all, because maybe they are, you know, of a raised enough environmental, energetic situation that they've managed to sort out their problems. Because when you get that critical mass point, the 100th monkey effect, it affects everything. You know, back in the 60s, the Maharishi Yogi people, the Transcendental Meditation people, they used to say that once you got 1% of a town meditating, the crime rate fell. They did tests on this. This was actually proven. They sent, oh, I won't get sidetracked into all that. But the fact is that the consciousness on the planet is rising, despite the best efforts, I believe, of the powers that be, to absolutely do our brains in with every conceivable manipulatable piece of mainstream media bumcum, and I was going to say a different word there, to actually do our heads in, despite all the manifest amounts of shit they're throwing at us. Consciousness is still rising. So don't think that if you're not doing your little bit, it doesn't, you know, if it don't, sorry, what I mean is don't think that if you're not doing anything major, like being Edward Snowden, or winning the Nobel Peace Prize, or being Nelson Mandela, that we're not doing anything in the world. Not all of us can do all that. We've got to do mainstream stuff. We can raise our own little consciousness that spreads. And if there was enough of us over the whole planet doing that, it will make a difference. So keep your energy high. Do what gives you a buzz. Try and think positive thoughts and just be grateful for everything. And don't get done in, folks, by the colossal amount of external doom and gloom that can seem overwhelming. You know, and I do believe in reincarnation. I believe that all of us who are actually here on this planet at this point in time were very lucky to be born at this point in time, because I've heard from various circles over the years that actually, you know, if you've got a place to be born on this planet at this point in time, you're very lucky. So there you go, folks. So all the best for 2014. Thanks, Em. Bye.